A year ago, Razer made its debut into mobile gaming with its first smartphone, the Razer Phone. Now, while it drew a lot of attention with its smooth 120Hz display and Dolby Atmos speakers, it was also a letdown by its iffy camera and lack of flagship credentials. With the Razer Phone 2, the company will be hoping to build on the momentum of its first phone and compete neck and neck with the flagship offerings from other manufacturers. We have used the Razer Phone 2 for more than a week now, so here's our review. The first thing you'll notice about the Razer Phone 2 is that it looks familiar. In fact, like the first Razer phone, it sports the same boxy frame along with thick bezels flanking the top and bottom, but once you flip it to the back, that's where the similarities end. The aluminum back of the original is now glass, which allows for wireless charging. Then there's the illuminated Razer logo, which supports chroma RGB lighting, so you can personalize it just like other Razer gaming accessories. Sadly, there's no headphone jack, though Razer does include an adapter with a 24-bit DAC. Now, let's talk about the display, and boy is it an amazing display. While you're not getting an OLED screen like on most other flagships out there, the 120Hz LCD display is simply smooth. It's hard to capture on camera due to differences in frame rate, but trust us when we say this. Simple gestures such as scrolling, swiping, or dragging feel just that much more responsive, and we're not even talking about gaming here. The overall experience is just so much more fluid compared to other smartphones out there. The display on the Razer Phone 2 is also noticeably brighter than the first phone with a maximum brightness of 580 nits, which makes it more comfortable to view in daylight conditions. Razer has incorporated some nifty new features in its latest phone. The obvious one is the RGB logo on the back that is powered by chroma RGB lighting. For those who are new to chroma, it is a lighting effect used by Razer to create a more immersive gaming experience. By using the Chroma app, you can customize the logo with effects such as spectrum cycling, breathing, and static. On a more practical note, the logo can serve as a notification light as well. So for example, Facebook notifications can be personalized to pulse blue, while WhatsApp notifications can pulse green. Also new to the Razer Phone 2 is the inclusion of Cortex, the mobile version of it. It helps to organize all your games in one spot. It also comes with Game Booster, which allows you to optimize settings such as CPU clock speed, screen resolution, frame rate, and even anti-aliasing for each and every individual game installed on the phone. Like we mentioned before, the Razer Phone 2 is capable of wireless charging, which is great, but we have noticed that the charging coil is placed lower than usual, most probably to accommodate the illuminated Razer logo. Now, this has led to some compatibility issues with some of the wireless charging docks out there. It's not like it doesn't charge the phone, but that the phone has to be positioned in a certain way, sometimes awkwardly, to receive charge. Do keep that in mind if you're into wireless charging. For wired charging, there is Quick Charge 4.0 Plus, which will top up the 4000 mAh battery to 50% in just 30 minutes. Oh, and the Razer Phone 2 is now IP67 certified, meaning it is resistant to dust and can be dropped into a meter deep of water for half an hour. That's about time. Now, what makes the Razer Phone 2 a gaming phone probably is hidden under the hood. It has a Snapdragon 845 chip with 8GB of RAM, 64GB of storage, and 4000 mAh battery. On paper, it looks like any other flagship smartphone out there today, but Razer has a few tricks up its sleeve. It has incorporated a vapor chamber cooling system which almost covers the entire back of the phone. Now, this is designed to dissipate heat from the processor more efficiently, so that it can sustain a high level of performance for long hours of gaming. Now, during our tests, we found that it helps to improve on the performance benchmark scores as well. The phone does feel warm after some gaming time, so we suggest getting a case which should help with the heat issue and offer a better grip. Admittedly, gaming is the forte of the Razer Phone 2. Playing supported games such as Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition or Real Racing 3 is also where the 120Hz display truly shines, and it really is an experience like no other. The camera on the Razer Phone 2 are slightly above average at best. The new Sony sensors do get the job done with images that are not too shabby. The HDR mode also managed to capture the details in the highlights and shadows. However, once you switch to portrait mode, images start to turn soft somehow. Even with the dual lens setup, subject separation is subpar. Beauty mode overprocesses the images so much that portraits look unnatural. In the video mode, the Razer Phone 2 shoots up to 4K 30 frames per second, and details and overall quality are actually quite sharp. But the phone seems to have trouble dealing with exposure, especially when there are moving subjects in the frame. So while Razer has improved the camera on its smartphone in the normal photo mode, there is still a lot of room for improvement in the other aspects. Hopefully, a software update in the future can solve or at least improve some of the issues. After using the phone for more than a week, we can safely say that the Razer Phone 2 is a nice upgrade from the original. It's got a chroma lit logo, wireless charging, and improved water and dust resistance. On top of the flagship specifications, amazing smooth screen and immersive speakers. If you can overlook the camera shortcomings, this is probably the phone for you. But if you already own the first Razer phone, we suggest waiting for the next one instead. After all, third time's a charm, right?